This episode is Superfast. You're in the Playhouse. Welcome to the Playhouse. I'm Uncle Paul, and it's time for our very special hellos. Hello to Ron Martin, Vinny Gargiulo, Polly Hewitt, and Patricia from A Little Beatles Corner, Dave Sundstrom, John Malillo, Andy and Tom of Two Legs, Lee, Ed Katzovision, we get that right again, Ed, Mark Williams, Jerome Luby, Matthew Street, Joe Mayo, Paul Waters, Beetle Brad, and of course Buddy the Dog, Mikey Arugula, Frank and all the Stickermania family, Travis, Ariana, Sideshow Tink, Greg the Record King. Now, if you'd like a special hello, like to dedicate one, please leave it in the comments below and we'll say hello in a future episode. And that's our very special hellos for today. Well, today in the Playhouse, Matchbox cars. Now, in 1953, British die-cast company Leslie Products, founded by Leslie Smith and Rodney Smith and Jack Odell, were inspired by a strict school rule that you could only bring small toys to the classroom. Hence, the Matchbox car was born. We have a selected variety here. Now, in 1969, another company, Mattel, invented Hot Wheels to compete with the Matchbox car, and they became very popular. So we're going to show you the different years and variations of the Matchbox cars and then what they did to try and also successfully compete with the Hot Wheels brand, which again started in 1969. But first, in the late 1960s, the heyday and start of the Matchbox cars, Matchbox had a club that you would subscribe to through the mail. And of course, Uncle Paul was a member in good standing. And so I still have, this is a little pin that they gave you if you were in the Matchbox collector's card. This is the official membership card. Okay. And you also got a certificate from Matchbox there, official membership certificate for the Matchbox Collectors Club, official member of the Matchbox Collectors Club, and is entitled to every honor and privilege accorded to all bearers of this document. This was quite official. I'm surprised it's not in a frame here at the Playhouse. And then on a quarterly basis, you got the Matchbox Collectors Club newsletter. See, actually, they were located in Woodridge, New Jersey, at P.O. Box 119. And, what you see normally, they came out with a color catalog every year, which would show you all the Matchbox cars that were going to be available each year. And this is what I'm talking about. And this is a typical one. These are relatively common. You still find them because people didn't like to dispose of those. This stuff is a little rarer that you don't see as much, like the certificate that I just showed you and the membership card. But this was very cool. This is the April 1973 edition. I know I was a member of the Matchbox Club for a good 5 years. Over here in the photo gallery, they showed other members in good standing of how they would display their Matchbox cars. And here's the Meet Mary Gibson. I wonder what happened to Mary Gibson. I ask members, you Google that and leave it in the comments. And we'll just look at these newsletters real fast. This is the October 1972 newsletter. They were going through some vintage Matchboxes as well. See, I didn't get into collecting them till the late 1960s, but you could still find older models that were being done. And so, now, the first Matchbox cars, we have an example. Oh, here's our cases, by the way. This is how you would house your Matchbox cases. put them in these nice 12 slotted plastic cases. See? You put 4 of them in this vinyl box case. Close the lid. Little plastic handles are long gone. It's like a 45 case. Those handles always break off. But nice colorful depiction and an easy way to carry in matchboxes. Because most times, even the Playhouse, you would throw out the Matchbox, which actually, again, in collector-wise, you love the original box with anything that's collectible. The Playhouse only has these 2 in the original box. And these haven't been out for a very long time. I don't think many human hands have touched them. But we're going to take a look at this, how it's going to gleam. Oh boy. This is gorgeous. Look at that. Right? The paint on that. Talk about car collecting and the original paint. I hope this is really, I'm telling you, this is shining. Because this has only been out of the box maybe twice. I'm getting it. This is number 59. The Ford Galaxy being used for the fire chief. Very, very nice. I think we should show the ambulance then as well. This is number 3 in the Matchbox series. They did many ambulances, but this is very early on. Again, this has not been out of the box. I know then also there's a little stretcher, I believe, this came with. This also is gleaming. I mean, again, the only second or third time it's ever been out of the box. Here, and there it goes. We'll get that piece, because that's the stretcher. I knew that was in there. This is the Mercedes-Benz, the ambulance, number 3. I'm going to bend down. So this comes with a little, this is normally, again, if you find these on the secondary market, the little silly pieces are always gone. But there is a stretcher with a patient molded onto the stretcher. In fact, I see he's actually got a broken left leg. There is a cast. He's already got his cast on, and yet he's in the ambulance. I don't know about that. And I think, if I remember correctly, that this opened up. Here we go. See? So you could put your patient as a slot for him right there in the back of the ambulance. See, this articulation on these cars was absolutely amazing. Now, this is what I was talking about before, but I have these are, of course, used. We talk about the speed of original Matchbox cars. And we have examples of the early Matchbox cars. It's this one, I don't know if we're going to play. We'll do a speed comparison. But I know this baby is very slow. Now, this is number 46, the Mercedes 300 SE. Now, the wheels, let's see, there was no competition. This was the first time that we had little die-cast cars and vehicles. Now, we have our track here. We're going to demonstrate the speed of some of these cars. Now, we're on the track, but this is a good track. Well, I'm giving it a lot of, but you'll see with the other ones, see how he comes to a space. We'll try here. See, that was the problem with the early Matchbox cars, which led to Mattel putting out Hot Wheels cars, which were much shinier, but also much faster. We have another example here. Let's show some early models first. Now, this is number 64, the MG 1100. And it's got a little dog here, I see, in the back seat. How cool is that? This is, again, the earlier line. We're not going to go too fast. Okay. These are cool. Now, I admit, I played with a lot of these. In fact, a few of them, when we get to the dump trucks, I took out into the dirt. Because normally I was keeping all my toys very nice. Here's number 31, the Lincoln Continental. It's a little beat up here. But let me just go back and look. But very, very slow cars. So when the introduction of Hot Wheels happened, Matchbox started really jazzing up their cars. We have a perfect example here. See, this to me, it reminds me, if you look at it real fast. Now let's talk about what they first called them. And they're on the cases here. This was the Superfast model. Again, manufactured due to the such high demand of Hot Wheels cars at the time. So this was Matchbox's answer. And this is pretty cool. This is the Dragon Wheels. Really shiny. And this is 1972. Superfast. Let's see. Model. Dragon Wheels number 43. But see, this is one of the really articulate special ones. The whole car went up. Very nice paint on this, I admit. Even though I played with these, I kept them really nice. So you're going to see the difference here on our official Matchbox Superfast yellow racing track. See, big difference, compared to, here's the original Matchbox cars. He's going to, and how much action, I'm giving the same thing. I gave it a lot of oomph there. I give it the same oomph. See, 4 inches, same oomph. And we do this guy over here, same oomph, much faster. Lots of fun. Always love this track. Used to put stuff on the underneath the track, so you create hills with the track. It was a lot of fun. And so we're going to show you a lot more of the Hot Wheels kind of inspired Matchboxes. It's pretty cool. And this comes up as well. See the old interior hood. And we have this one right here. And this is 1970 Superfast, the Road Dragster. Let's call it that. And this is a favorite of mine. And this is 1970 the Hot Rod. Yeah, nice bubble on that. Take that out for a ride. Yeah, that goes really fast. This baby here, just demonstrate a few on this. Yeah, the wheels are too big for the track on that one. And this one here. Favorite Hot Wheels cars. Lots of fun. I know one of the first Superfast ones I got was this one. This is 1969. So this is the first year they were doing Superfast, I believe. This is the Rolls Royce. Great one. I want to show you a lot of the articulation that these did as well. Do Matchbox cars for hours, and we won't. There, you'll see some of the fun ones too. Early on, this is an early one again, before Superfast. I remember this was this moved. And we want to show you the garbage truck, the advertising ones. I love the advertising ones. This is an Esso truck here. This is the Ford Heavy Wreck Truck, 1968, number 71. You'd have like a checklist which ones you wanted from the box. So you had Esso here, and then you have, of course, BP as well. I always was attracted because you saw like the service stations when you're on the road. So that's what made this extra appealing. See, Ben, and people don't really, I think in modern days, you really don't think about where you got your gas, where you get your gas. But Playhouse members, and I know a lot of our Playhouse members are older as well, remember and have these fond memories of your local gas stations, which sometimes even give you a premium. You get a glass with your fill up of your tank. I've actually heard that also the Beatles Remco dolls were given away at gas stations in the early 1960s. So it meant a lot. It was pretty cool. If you were always going with your parents to get your gas at your local BP station. Well, we had a fun time playing with our Matchbox cars, probably a little bit, but now it's time to check the comments bowl. And you know what to do. If you want to be in the comments bowl, we have to get this one. In fact, I think this is the one, because this is really at random. It's meant to be picked from the comments bowl. But if you want to be in the comments bowl, It's easy. Just please leave a comment right below, and perhaps you'll make the comments bowl. And this is about episode 13, the wacky episode. Get your Ringo viewers out and bring some wacky packages to trade. That was quite a long title we made. Member Mikey Arugula commented, really, this is not set up. The episodes are very creative. Well, thanks, Mikey. And if you want to be again in the comments bowl, please leave us a comment and maybe you'll make our very special comments bowl. But for now, the Playhouse is closed. Thanks, Joe Friday.
Quiet.